For the last 2 weeks, eyewitness investigator David Hammer has been uncovering city data showing building inspectors were not showing up for key inspections of major construction projects. This includes the Hard Rock Hotel before it collapsed in October. Now today, on the heels of David's reports, the city announced a complete overhaul of its safety and permits department. Here's David with our story.
Multiple locations. On Monday, Mayor Latoya Cantrell's chief administrative officer said enough was enough.
We are starting anew. This is a complete overhaul of the organization from almost top to bottom. And we want to ensure the public that we're taking and advising all our future employees the importance and the nature of responsibility of this job.
Gilbert Montano announced the demotion of Safety and Permits Director Zach Smith, the creation of 2 new oversight positions, and an effort to hire brand new city inspectors. How many inspectors do we have, and can they meet the demand?
We have a shallow bench, and I want to be completely candid with the community in that regard. We have 4 inspectors currently.
4 inspectors, wow. Oh, this is the consent decree where we're looking for oversight from policing. New Orleans has been under the consent decree since Katrina, when they shot and killed people going across the bridge looking for water. Oh, come on, Gilbert. I'll just keep going. Why not Cuba? Okay. Oh, Trump was being interviewed with Katie Moore, the TV reporter, who did our story on the January the 13th, 12th. Oh, and then January the 14th. The Associated Press tells us that she will not report on our story at all after 8 months. She just said it was because she didn't want to be obtuse. She didn't want to be obtuse. She didn't want to be obtuse. She knew I was upset. She knew I was ticked off and tired of this, but she didn't want to be obtuse. Okay. So then, overseeing officer's property. Okay, so MLK Day, I finally put out the start of the newspaper that I've been working on, which was just a collection of emails and things that I've been collecting like a scrapbook and trying to hold the police accountable, giving it to them. Witness sends the mom of a broken window, Witness sends the mom, bloody pants that the police didn't collect. Oh, and then this is now Katie Moore, the reporter, got an Emmy for her investigative work. All right. Oh, there's the video. Asking Airbnb to return the items. Oh, and then I told the police, look, Jefferson Parish sues original architect of the Performing Arts Center, Marcel Wisnia, for gross incompetence. Hard Rock developers have contributed nearly $70 million to the mayor's campaign. 70,000, sorry. U.S. attorney hired by the New Orleans city to probe the embattled city agency. I wonder why the city has to hire an outside attorney. Oh, maybe to protect the city. City council forms a special investigative committee to investigate the Hard Rock collapse. New Orleans mayor husband owes $95,000 in unpaid taxes. Well, let's see about that. Oh, why is the Warehouse District retail and co-living project tax breaks being reviewed? Oh, and here's where Amy, the desperate, crazy mother, puts up on Facebook. Oh, that was the post that I did, 11, where I told and finally got Katie Moore, the reporter, to do our story. Oh, look, what's this? Oh, that's the day that the suspect
we're certainly advertising, and we're
they have commercial certification, those 4?
No, not all.
Montano said drastic measures.
God, Lordy, sorry. Law firm investigating the city Hard Rock collapse
were necessary to address bad actors in the city's permitting office.
It is taking on a very and deep, pervasive nature within the agency.
We used GPS data to track Inspector Julie Tweeter's city vehicle and found she took it home when she wasn't supposed to and didn't drive it to dozens of inspections. I mean, that kind of track record is
It's unconscionable. It really is. It's a travesty, and that speaks to that systemic and overly concerned problems that we've been dealing with over the course of the last few years, and even in some cases much longer than that.
We reported exclusively on a secret recording of an inspectors meeting in September. Montano said he was suspicious that building official Larry Chan told his staff to go to inspections and take their own photos of jobs just 2 days after we reported the department was under federal investigation.
In some ways, it looks like someone is covering themselves in that.
And is that why you suspended him later that day?
He was suspended later that day because he was in the middle of investigations, multiple investigations. And frankly, from my perspective, I was and I am at the point where I have no toleration.
David Hammer, Eyewitness News.
Hammer joining us right now. And David, you started looking at what went wrong with this as soon as the Hard Rock collapsed. I mean, how did this investigation lead you to city inspectors?
Right. Well, we heard right away that there were problems with that project, the Hard Rock Hotel, that there were problems with deflection of the floors, that there were changes in the city's plans, or the plans that were reported to the city by the builder. And we heard that there were inspectors that were not looking at that project. So we asked for the GPS data from the city. We knew that the city was tracking their whereabouts, the cars that the city inspectors were using, and we got that GPS data, and we just had to run it through, check it, and we saw that they were not showing up. The vehicles were not going close to the locations where they needed to do inspections, where they were reporting inspections.
Well, we know that this, of course, connected to the Hard Rock Hotel, but how far back does this problem go when it comes to those city inspectors?
Right. Well, it's not just the Hard Rock Hotel that we're talking about here. This is a ton of different building projects, and this actually goes back originally to issues raised in 2002 when Mayor Ray Nagin was in, and they were looking at corruption inside City Hall. There was an investigation then. It didn't lead to charges. But then last August, there was an indictment of a city inspector, Kevin Richardson. That inspector actually pled guilty to taking $65,000 in bribes in December. So we knew there were issues with the inspectors, and that's why after we heard that there were these problems with the Hard Rock, we started asking for that data.
Well, obviously, they know there are issues with the inspectors. You've revealed that in your investigation. Why did they not do anything until this investigation began?
Well, that's really the question, right? And that's Gilbert Montano's frustration that he expressed today in the interview with us, that he's saying, you know, we had that audio recording showing that they were meeting back in September talking about this. And Gilbert Montano said, that's the problem. They didn't do anything about it. We were tracking their whereabouts. We were auditing their activities, and they didn't do anything about it until we started reporting on it. And that's why he took this action today, to completely overhaul the whole department.
Incredible investigation. Thanks so much, David.
So you think you're eating healthy?